here we are. Undefeated 7-0 MoistBoyz trying to stay undefeated. Last day of the quarterfinals, round 2 of the playoffs. And they had the Pigeon boys on the other side of the field that they're facing, 5-2, number 10 seed. And these teams have met already.
That's assault, brother.
And a midnight sack will strike first. Gizmo in tow. Richard Warlock, the Rocket League player formerly known as Dick, there on the play, feeds the pass. And his captain, Midnight Sack, is able to finish Pigeon boys up by 1. Looks like Tricky is getting the start tonight. I don't believe that was the case for most of the season. But you gotta trust the decision making.
Why would you kill him like that?
Of the undefeated team. Tricky going to dribble, gets infield pass to Killer Baldrick, captain for MoistBoyz, but it is well defended by the Pigeon boys. There goes a shot. Mike Rithgen is there. Drops down. Killer Baldrick off the wall. Look at the carry. Up, over, loses it. And another demo.
Get him a body bag! Yeah!
Not sure if that's the strategy going into this one, but there have been a handful of early demos. Tricky on the back wall, looking to take it out. Killer Baldrick rotating back ball side, and he gets tied up with Tricky. Infield pass! Richard sends a shot. Baldrick collects the save. And we have a miscue there. Baldrick, he's had good dribbles. He might have one more, but he gets dunked. Let's see who's on the other end. Orwiggle sends a shot, makes his presence felt. Baldrick again, as Tricky stops it in midfield. Sends one more. And we're going to go back and forth here in the orange corner. Drops it down. The shot. Save. So far, so good. And they do get a save execution. Mike Rithgen cuts it off. Didn't want it going down the sideline with such speed. Didn't want to let it pass, and seems to be a solid decision. Tricky gets an aerial dunk. Ball going out. Orwiggle sends it back, and a save by the Warlock. He's got Tricky. Beats Tricky. Gets a demo.
Call an ambulance! Call an ambulance! But not for me!
And a double fake. Orwiggle driving. He may have a score, and no! I believe it was Rithgen who was able to slide in on defense. And now it's going the other way. Orwiggle pops up. Saves boost. Sends another floater on the sidewall and tucks it in. Great play by Wiggs.
También se prepara Esteban Granero, el pirata, por cierto, las reacciones en el banquillo.
¡Ojo, Cristiano! ¡Cristiano del área! ¡Sigue Cristiano! ¡No!
Icarus, you didn't miss much. Pigeon boys scored first, but MoistBoyz just tied it up. 50 ball goes up, ceiling, then down. Baldrick tries to double off the backboard, can't read. And here's Tricky. Sets himself up. So far, so good in the save.
Impressive.
Midnight Sack is able to pin it against the side post. Now he sends a shot, and Tricky gets a save of his own. Nice play out of the field. Richard Warlock sends it out. Killer Baldrick with goal number 2 on the bar down floater. Baldrick scores.
Can I get a oh yeah?
No intro, good pressure. Yeah, there wasn't an intro. They joined the lobby and joined the game. I guess that's what you missed. Infield, Dick Warlock on the other side can't yank it over for the shot. At least something on target. Pops up. Ceiling. Dick Warlock sends it out. Baldrick was going for one of his patented dribbles, but he gets dunked again. Here's Tricky. Sends something to the net. Nothing doing. Orwiggle back on defense. No shot there. Midnight Sack goes wide, and Richard Warlock on the other side for the rebound. Send a dollar.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
And keep the change. Orwiggle was there. It seemed like he was ready for a lot, but not that nimble to save 2 shots. Midnight Sack with the demo. This one falling back to Rithgen. Rithgen against the side wall. Tricky. Playing off the back. Orwiggle floats it over. Mike Rithgen. And maybe game 1 is overtime. Tricky is up. Misses the shot.
Fight!
Yeah, they banned his name. They banned Dick Warlock. And he tried to... Hold on. We can't even explain Dick Warlock. Pigeon Boys get put on their heels and never really recover. Midnight Sack drove into the clearing lane. Gets an ill-advised touch. Didn't need much more extra time on that one. MoistBoyz take game number 1. We'll ready up. Orwiggle MVP 479, 2 goals, which is essentially what it looked like to the naked eye. Playing very well is Orwiggle today. So they banned Dick Warlock, and then he smashed it together, so it was one word Dick Warlock, and then they got that one too. So he's a lot more formal these days. Early demo already for game 2. Baldrick tries to dribble in again. Tricky gives a 50. On the back wall, Orwiggle sends it flying to the corner. Dick Warlock playing defense by himself. As Baldrick sends a shot. Midnight Sack with the save. Dunk there. Coming around, and just a lot of over-eagerness, it seems like, from the Pigeon Boys. They're not letting the play develop. Warlock, you can argue he should just let this go. Or you can argue Rithgen just hangs out and waits. But any way you slice it, MoistBoyz up by 1. Against the back wall. Tricky sends a shot, and that's what we're seeing. Pigeon Boys, if it's not over eagerness, then maybe it's just a little too lax. Tricky takes advantage. Now they have the opposite problem. MoistBoyz up by 2. Kickoff goes back blue corner. Baldrick, calm as ever, sends it out to midfield, and no go. Orwiggle tries his hand. Warlock with the shot. Midnight Sack jumps into it, sends a 1-hopper, 0 boost, and he'll retreat. There's a dribble. Rithgen needs a shooter, but I think Tricky got caught up in the moment, and he ends up finishing it. Go! Tricky didn't want that to cross, and I think even if he hadn't, it was good to go. Pigeon Boys trying to make a comeback here. as Dick Warlock sets himself up out of the corner. It's a beaming shot. Dick Warlock sends it back and Orwiggle gets the save. Baldrick, another dribble, but Warlock gets back. Now pops it up. Tricky last man back, and he's going to have no contest there at midfield. Midnight Sack pops it up for a floater. Dick Warlock can't redirect, can't keep it going, tries to pass again, but no one quite ready for it. Mikey Richardson tries a shot. Midnight Sack with the catch. Baldrick sends it up towards the net. Tricky looking for the dunk, and he gets it, does Tricky. 3-1 MoistBoyz.
Jeepers, mister, you're really strong.
Really just two not so great catch attempts from two separate Pigeons. And that turns into goal number 3 for MoistBoyz. Stick Warlock lays a demo.
Toasty!
Here's a shot. Midnight Sack trying to recover. Gets a save. Gets a huge clear. And Baldrick looks to catch. Beats 2 defenders. Now 3. Running down. I think he has one more. And he's in. Tricky comes up. We were speculating on why he got the start, and I think that's exactly the reason.
Can I get a oh yeah?
Baldrick dazzles the defenders, Jesus. And Tricky does the rest. 4-1 now for MoistBoyz. Drops it down, and one touch beats 2 defenders. Midnight Sack carries it over, and a save by Orwiggle. Richard Warlock with the shot attempt just a little too low. I think Orwiggle was just driving. He may not even saw the shooter. And it's not as if the number 2 seed needed any more fortune. But they'll still have the Rocket League gods smile upon them. Midnight Sack pops it over. Drops it down. There's a 50. Midnight Sack again. Beats Tricky against the wall, but loses possession. This is Tier 3. It's kind of undefined. I know that the MoistBoyz moved up to Tier 2 last circuit, but I don't know their record, but they got beat, so they might be just on that bubble, just on that cusp. Except for Tricky. Tricky is a new Tier 3 member player. But that's a little background for the MoistBoyz. Yeah, hi champ 2. There's a cross. Another back touch. Tricky's caught up, but so is Midnight Sack. 20 seconds remaining. Another demo.
It's clobbering time!
But Pigeon Boys may have an early exit here. Unless they're able to turn everything around, at least force a game 4. And MoistBoyz looking to stay perfect, and now it's Tricky with a hat trick. We'll call him Hat Tricky. 578, 3 saves as well, and 13 shots from Roadkill MoistBoyz. As the Pigeon Boys are sitting around taking a little bit to ready up. They do have a full roster, but no substitutions. They like this combination for their team coming in, and they're going to stick with it all the way through. Game number 3 forthcoming. Zero, 5 minutes reset for the clock. Killer Baldrick pops up to himself and slides underneath. Goes up for the aerial, but just tucks it right under. Dick Warlock was there, but 6 seconds in is all it took. And MoistBoyz have the lead again. Dick Warlock comes up, cheats on the kickoff. There's a 50, and look at the layers of positioning for the MoistBoyz. It's always 1, 2, 3, one on the side of the field, one at the 50, and then another one in the back, and they've had so much success with that, especially diagnosing those plays that require the third man back to come up. As Dick Warlock will get a shot here. And Orwiggle tries to pop it out of the way. Turns into the first goal for the Pigeon Boys. There you go. Driving. Baldrick tries to sneak one in there, but it's off the post and out.
He shouldn't have been standing there.
Another demo. Mike Rithgen off the wall into the midfield. Orwiggle sends it backboard. Tries to follow it up and does so wide. Mike Rithgen with the clear. Think you got gypped, Sam? He seems pretty happy with the you're not supposed to be able to drink salt water no matter where you live.
Mathematical!
And there it is, just another ill-advised catch attempt from one of the Pigeon Boys, and Orwiggle sends it right back. What we do know for sure is MoistBoyz are just too good to give those kinds of opportunities to. You definitely want to make them earn these possessions, these scores, these shots. I'll be honest, I don't know what gypped is. There's a touch. Tricky. Backboard. Drives out. Drops down Baldrick. Passes it up into the outlet, but now Tricky has possession. Self-pass to the corner. Midnight Sack sends a floater. Mike Rithgen trying to catch it. And Orwiggle rotates back for some aerial defense. And now he's dribbling down the field. Great rotations from the MoistBoyz. Just great game sense as well from all three players. You know, regardless of the ranks, usually team members will fall into their particular skill set, but seems like a well-balanced attack here from Roadkill.
Ooh.
Pass back, Midnight Sack off the backboard. Mike Rithgen with goal number 2. Nice snappy play from Pigeon Boys. Tricky gets caught, can't read it off the backboard. And Mike Rithgen collects goal number 2. 2 minutes, 9 seconds remaining. Kickoff goes side. Mike Rithgen up, backboard, trying to double it again. Tricky gets the save. Orwiggle off the silly, no boost. Utilizes the last of it, trying to get over to the ball. Baldrick gets turned around. Dick Warlock, that looks wide, and it is, as it rolls up the wall. Tricky saves it front post. No touch there. Killer Baldrick floats it over. We haven't had one of his dribble plays this game. Orwiggle gets beat. Dick Warlock going toe-to-toe with Tricky. He flicks it immediately and it's in! The Warlock!
Can I get a oh yeah?
Gets it in.
Imagine how many women just start blowing up his DMs.
Richard Warlock, don't check your DMs during the game. You have at least a minute 17 remaining. Orwiggle, good defense, but pays the price for his efforts. As Richard Warlock sends a shot wide to blue corner. Mike Rithgen touches, blue corner again. Pigeon Boys have the lead, and this is the most aggressive we've seen them potentially. Orwiggle at front post. Got to be careful here. Dick Warlock comes in. Mike Rithgen gets up. No read there. Is able to stop it. Goal number 4. No!
Off the post!
But Dick Warlock is in. Doubles the lead. 31 seconds remaining. And Richard head on a swivel Warlock.
Imagine how many women just start blowing up his DMs.
Little more than half a minute remaining. And this is classic Pigeon Boys, always making it interesting, always keeping it close. As it looks like they will indeed
Yeah, but that backflip though.
force a game number 4. But at this point they will need a reverse sweep to finish their season, to not get sent home. Tricky tries to catch up to it. Orwiggle, no score. And it's down to the ground. Pigeon Boys do strike back. Series is at 2-1. Icarus, I've never seen a boring Pigeon Boys series. I'll be honest, I have. But they definitely have more exciting matchups. Richard Warlock, new name, same play style, hat trick, 2 shots from him, 8 total from the Pigeons. As we will ready up for game number 4, Killer Baldrick, slow to do so, but now we are good to go. And here we are. Let's see how MoistBoyz react to a Game 3 loss. Maybe should have had the sweep. Driving downfield. Midnight Sack. Puts it into his corner. Dick Warlock riding up. Not much boost to his name, but now he has the 100. Look at the dribble. Gets a flick. And Tricky is there. Tricky was beat on one of those plays in game number 3, wanted to ensure it didn't happen again. As Midnight Sack battles out of his side of the field. Mike Rithgen, ricochet off the wall. Orwiggle has to touch this, and he does. Good play by him. Orwiggle keeping it going. Catch from Warlock, chasing it downfield, sticks with it. Gets tangled up with Baldrick.
Get him a body bag! Yeah!
And gives him a body bag for his trouble. And another demo there.
It's clobbering time!
This one popped, floating. Mike Rithgen sends a wide shot. Wide inside. And no, the Pigeon Boys try to get back, but Tricky will make them pay. Pigeon Boys a little too aggressive selling out there. You see the double commit. Tricky Right place, right time. And good enough to take advantage. MoistBoyz strike first in game 4. Orwiggle sends a wide shot. Might double off the wall. He goes wide left. Tyrant Lytree. Appreciate the follow. Mike Rithton driving in. Killer Baldrick sends a shot. And Dick stops it in its tracks. Midnight Sack driving downfield. Tricky. Pops up. Pass to himself. A bit of a double commit, but Killer Baldrick looking to recover. Now Orwiggle with possession. Gets a center. Tricky with the shot. Midnight Sack with the save. Pigeon Boys still looking for their first score of game 4. Off the backboard, Mike Rithton, no read. Dick Warlock sends it wide. And everyone gets tied up in the blue paint. Midnight Sack sends it over front post. Mike Rithton is there close enough. This was interesting the whole way. Baldrick gets caught up on that front post on the save attempt. And now we are tied 1 apiece. Cheat up on the kickoff. Tricky. Good touch off the back wall. Midnight Sack. Self pass. Might be goal number 2, and it is Dick Warlock again.
También se prepara Esteban Granero, el pirata, por cierto, las reacciones en el banquillo.
Ojo, Cristiano, Cristiano en el área, sigue Cristiano. ¡No!
Pigeon Boys up by 1. Dilly's liking the relentless pressure. And it's pressure, but also the smart, effective touches as well. Midnight Sack touched the ball twice on that play, and both of them were so crucial to the play. One to beat a defender, another one to set up the pass, and you know Richard isn't going to let that slide. Speak of the devil, sends it up. Mike Rithton to finish it off. Splits the post. Rithton goes high. Icarus says the Pigeon Boy team looks much more confident in the beginning of the series, but also MoistBoyz, this is what we've seen from teams. They'll get into match point at game 3, lose one, and then maybe start questioning their processes or their ability when it gets to that point. Baldrick, he's got the boost for it, but he gets dunked in midair. Pops up. Orwiggle staying with it. Midnight Sack knows he's going to have to touch this one, and another demo.
Get him a body bag. Yeah.
No boost for him or Waggle. Orwiggle recognizes the trouble. Tricky gets behind through 2 defenders. A nice soft touch, but MoistBoyz are still down on the board.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
What up, Neb? If everyone's just joining us, MoistBoyz went up early with 2 wins. Pigeon Boys trying to force a game 5 here. So far, so good, but about 40 seconds left. Dick Warlock with defense. Crusty Dusty, appreciate the follow. What a name. Pass back wall. Baldrick handles it well. Off the back wall, Dick Warlock going up for a read, and Orwiggle with the save.
Impressive.
Orwiggle with another touch. Lets it off his car. Clock is ticking. Mid-air demo. Dick Warlock baits Tricky in and tucks it into the right post. 10 seconds remaining. Look at this big swinging Richard.
Imagine how many women just start blowing up his DMs.
4-2. Pigeon Boys look so good, and that is, you know, no pun. The tricky thing about a reverse sweep is the team trying for the reverse sweep goes into game 5 with a ton of momentum, and the other team with a ton of questions for themselves. That is a Richard only sound clip. I told him at least this circuit, for the fall, it's going to be open for everybody that makes a play, but it's his right now. Richard Warlock, MVP, 521, 2 goals from Mikey Rithgen as well. And this is the team effort, the pressure, the offensive prowess we wanted to see from the Pigeon Boys. As Baldrick a little slow to ready up again. Maybe strat talk at this point. And both teams have an option for substitutions. But if Baldrick readies up, we'll just have a straight shot series. How do I get a Dilly only sound clip? You have to DM me a sound clip that's good enough to make the stream. And then we put it in there. So that's what it is. No substitutions. Forget that. Hey, here we are. We just can't get enough. Baldrick, he showed us his ground dribbles. Been flirting with some airmail lately. But now ball's driving downfield. Tricky's in the back. Can't get the catch. In the corner. Warlock can't read. Baldrick going the other way. Midnight sack from front post. Has to fend off the 2v1 and the demo.
That's assault, brother.
But we remain 0-0. Vagabond. Appreciate the follow, sir. Dick Warlock goes for a bump. Gets the defender to flinch or wiggle off the backboard. Does he have a rebound shooter? He does not. And perhaps just more trouble for MoistBoyz. Baldrick stops it in the corner. Great play. Turns around on it. Puts it on his Dominus. Passes to Wiggs. And they're driving down the sideline. Pass back.
Yeah, but that backflip though.
And Tricky has been so good in that third man role. But hold on. Midnight sack. Nothing for him there. Mike Rithgen lets it through. Orwiggle. Let's see what he can mount off the wall. Can't double, and it's going the other way. Tricky sends it back orange corner. Follows up. Has some boost to work with. But won't get the opportunity to use it. As Orwiggle sends it midfield. Tricky will tuck it in. What a shot by Tricky. And what a pass from Wiggs.
Can I get a oh yeah?
Tricky knew exactly what he wanted, and he's gifted that one. MoistBoyz up by 1. Yeah, Vagabond, I thought you were too. But everyone, Vagabond, another one of our IGL community casters. Check them out if you haven't already. And MoistBoyz with the lead here, which I'm sure they are much grateful for. Wiggs gets caught up on the wall. Midnight sack, big booming clear up the seam. And great flow from MoistBoyz. That is something that they lacked these last 2 games. As Tricky sends another shot. Orwiggle doesn't let it pass midfield. Gets another touch, and Mike Rithgen gets the catch. Drops it in, another demo.
Why would you kill him like that?
And Baldrick gets the catch, beats the defender. And Rithgen off the side wall, turned pass, but Orwiggle reads it the whole way through. What a shot there by Baldrick. Passes back in to Orwiggle. And Dick Warlock, no boost to get it off the wall. Halfway through game number 5. Orwiggle hops over, doesn't want to get beat. Tricky comes up, and if he doesn't make that touch, MoistBoyz are in a precarious situation. Here comes Orwiggle with the follow-up shot, a one-hopper. Into the orange corner, let's see what we have here. Dilly says lead Schmied. Midnight Sack gives us a 50. Tricky again finds himself on the other side of the field. One of those right place, right time things.
Call an ambulance! Call an ambulance! But not for me.
What placement! Richard Warlock screams into the play here and just sends it back.
Imagine how many women just start blowing up his DMs.
Orwiggle was anticipating that front shot attempt. Dick Warlock takes his time, sends it back bumper, and we are tied 1 apiece. Dick Warlock cleans it off the backboard. Tricky sends it. Some miscommunication for Pigeon boys. They're going to have to calm it out. And they look like they're back in their flow. Dick Warlock beats one man. And Baldrick is just one too many. Looking for the dribble. Beats a defender. Drives up. Now Orwiggle. Self-pass out of the corner. Midnight Sack won't let it happen. Trouble here. Pigeon boys save Midnight Sack. Now the dunk going the other way. 0 boost for him. Another pop. Good set. And Tricky with a great touch. Now a 50. But MoistBoyz are on defense. Orwiggle pops it up. Great. Booming clear. He's going for the read. And Warlock is having none of it. Backboard. Orwiggle back up. Sends the shot. It's in. Orwiggle. Fantastic read off the backboard.
Oh yeah! Banana bread, bro!
Mike Rithchen gets posterized a little bit. 9 seconds remaining. It boiled down to this. Boys become men. Midnight Sack all the way back. There's a demo, floats up in the air. Tricky will neutralize this one. And it is the MoistBoyz who walk away with a close quarterfinals victory. They'll be in semifinals starting tomorrow, actually. But play will be all week long. But there's Tricky joining us now in the chat. GG's, Trick. Gonna call Orwiggle for the post-game interview. Hope he has. There he is. Orwiggle, can you hear me?
I can. My bad.
No, you're good, man. Congrats on the win. Those are just one of those series that are fun for us to watch, but maybe not so comfortable for you to play in.
Yeah, I want to say we just defense disappeared. We just started panicking a little bit.
Right.
Tricky had some ping issues really bad too.
Okay.
And so we kind of went into it like, well, you know, it was weird. It would just be like 1 minute and then it would be good. And then we looked again, he was pinging again, but he wasn't like showing it. It just seemed like just a delay. It was weird. It wasn't even like he was just missing. It's just, he couldn't get on it. No excuse. We tried to play a little bit better. And yeah, as you could tell, we had to clutch it up there. Pigeon boys, I mean, they did not freaking go away no matter what we did. It was ridiculous.
No, they've kind of made a career doing that in IGL. It seems like most of their playoff matches are forced into a game 5. Sometimes a win, sometimes a loss. You guys come out here. So you guys, you get forced into a game 5. Who does anyone, if any, who, if anyone, serves as the voice of reason in comms on the team?
You know, surprisingly, it was tricky.
Okay.
Me and Killer Baldrick tend to get quiet. We kind of start thinking, like, what the hell are we going to do to bring this back? We've been playing together for so long. Tricky was kind of like, hey, I know we've been messing up. I'm sorry. Let's get this. He's like, we got this next game. So it was Tricky actually calming us down a little bit. Okay. And then just locking down on defense. We discussed going into that last game, that defense, we just had to hold on for dear life. And yeah, we ended up coming out on top. So.
Awesome. Yeah, looked good. Really strong finish. It wasn't without its drama. You were able to get that last second shot there at the end. Was that one of those comfortable shots where you kind of knew you had it, or did you not know until it went in?
When I jumped up, I saw the defender jump with me, but I knew I was going to beat him. It was the one in goal. And
right.
Me being the jackass that I am, I put it right towards him, and I was like, great, I hope this goes in.
Right.
But it ended up working out. I mean, I knew if I could get some heat on that ball, I mean, the only way, and he was kind of in goal, I knew it was going to pop either up or just the momentum was going to carry it in. So kind of had a good feeling on it, but I was a little sweaty, you're not going to
lie. Right. So Tricky gets the start tonight. Is that the combination you guys have been rolling with as of late, or what went into that? He looked great.
Yeah, Tricky kind of made his debut. He was originally our sub,
right?
And he just kind of jumped in there when Wadich had to go out of town and some other things that happened. But it ended up being like, well, let's just stick with Tricky and see how it goes. He's more of the calm, passive kind of like, hey, I'll play off of you two, and so it worked out really well.
Yeah, he plays that role to perfection, especially with you and Baldrick playing up a little bit. You guys were really making that dynamic work out for you. But that's it. Looking at the bracket here, you will be playing the number 3 seeded A squad. So you know how it is. It only gets more difficult and challenging from here. And then go ahead.
And the A squad's a really good team too. Yeah. I think the last 4 teams standing are all undefeated, if I'm not mistaken.
Really?
Maybe Ghoul Gaming has lost one, but I know Sloth Kingdom, us, and A squad are undefeated. So it turns into like, okay, anyone can have a bad night. I mean, look at us. We started off great, went up 2-0, and then a little bit of inconsistency, and Pigeon Boys could have stole this. They really could have stole this from us. So it's kind of a wake up, like, holy crap. But that's the 7 next week. Should be a little bit more of like, hey, we go down 2-0. Okay, we still have plenty of games left. So we'll see how that goes next week.
Awesome. Well put. The floor is yours, sir. Shout outs, plugs, anything you got. Let it rip.
Yeah, for one, again, always pleasure casting us, Fury.
Definitely.
It was swell. I'm going to have to go back and watch it. Unfortunately, I can't watch it live. Next, all the people that I'm streaming with right now, go hit King Fury up with the follow. I'm watching too, so you better follow him. And 2, 3, come next week, semifinals. We're going to do it again. We're going to try to win the championship again. So, yeah, thanks again.
Yeah, congrats. Good luck the rest of the way. Peace.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, or Wiggle. Always a pleasure talking to him, but Pigeon Boys break some hearts. Probably no more than their own. What up, Wavy? Look at how happy Tricky is. Showing the biddies. Very, very much appreciated. Tricky, you look good, man. A new tier 3 player. You're doing well in 2s. You're doing great in 3s. Baldrick, appreciate the follow. Yeah. Keep it up, Trick, for sure. Wavy. No, I haven't casted your team all season. No, it's I'm primarily doing it by special request this season. So it's been light, and you know how the playoffs go. So let's see here. We're gonna kill it. That was my last one of the evening. I have someone in mind. Davey, you about to drop the 3K or what? You might get either a finals or a 3rd place match. All right, let it rip, Davey.
Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.